Hello, welcome back to episode 19 of our Geneforge 2 Infestation playthrough. We're currently exploring Medab, and we have stumbled into City Hall, where assumed Learn Pinner is waiting for us. Get them some guards there, get her assistant who met us at the entrance of the town. Go ahead and ask, or talk to them. You meet Kasha again. Ah, Shaper, I'm glad you've made it. Learn Pinner is beyond the door at the end of the hall. He points to the north. Before you enter, I need to speak with you. Must be sure you intend our leader no harm. Who do you think would cause Pinner harm? You, for one. There are many other hostile ones in these mountains, but we see you as our greatest threat now. Really, there's probably people who literally have said they will kill her, is my guess. Right, what's your normal job here? Pinner's assistant. She's old, so I handle the day-to-day work of the Awakened, organizing training, answering philosophical questions, dealing with merchant settlements and other factions, keeping the peace. Pinner trusts me, and I work hard to earn that trust. Right? I would like to speak with Pinner. And Pinner would like to speak with you. However, these are dangerous times, and we have much to fear from many people, including, I am afraid, the Shapers. Yet we believe the Shapers can be honorable. We need to deal with them, therefore we can take you at your word. If you will swear that no harm will come to Pinner by your hand, we will allow you to see her. This is a strange request. No loyal Shaper would ever feel bound by a promise made to a creation, especially under duress. After all, Shapers feel that creations owe their makers total obedience in return for their existence. Do these creatures realize this? You aren't sure. We'll swear we're doing a playthrough. We're not gonna harm them. As best as we can. Thank you, Shaper. It is good to hear that. Kasha walks to the end of the hall and unlocks the door. Then he returns to his seat. Brother Pinner would very much like to meet you. I had a key. I wonder if I could have just, like, waltzed in. Some wine. Leave that there for now. Take it in as a gift. Oh, I picked up this wine for you. This strange hall is charged with magic. The floor is covered with gently glowing green tiles. There are shaping platforms in each corner. You easily recognize powerful defenses. Though, who made them? There's a lone Servile standing in the center of the room. I mean, we've already met a Shaper in town. She is extremely old for a Servile, and she shows no signs of subservience. She evaluates you with eyes old and wise, trying to anticipate your judgments. She says, "Welcome, Shaper. I am glad you have come to see me. I am Learn Pinner, current leader of Medab and of the Awakened. Whether you accept it or not, we have much to discuss." I'm going to read your book first. Awakened wishes. We of the Awakened have fair requests. When the Shapers return, they will be presented in the spirit of openness and good wishes, so good luck with that. Any creation with the presence to say, "I am a thinking, free being," must become one. A free-thinking creation will be bound by the same laws as a common and be punished for the crimes in the same way. A free-thinking creation will be able to sell goods and labor freely and be bound by the same laws as a common. A free-thinking creation capable of magic can apply to learn this power according to the same laws as a common. So, like, we're willing to live under the same rules that common humans are living under. Despite her great age, Learned Pinner stands straight and tall for a Servile. As you approach her, the magic in the air makes your hair stand on end. She says, "When you came to Drypeak, we knew you would find us. Now that you are here at last, there are things I must say. You are a Shaper. Soon you might carry news to your kind of what you have found here. Then, I fear, we will all be destroyed. It is vital that I tell you our story before tragedy happens. I want to tell you where we came from. I must convince you that we have a right to live." I'd like to hear your story, alright? If you've watched our first playthrough, this is going to be very familiar to you. Our playthrough of the first Geneforge game. But we're going to go ahead and read it anyway, because some of you might not have watched it. And we just want to see what the official ending for this group of people is. Alright, I'm glad you're interested. Please be patient with one who is old and tired. There's much to tell about our people and what was done to us. I was born on a place called Sucia Island. I doubt you have heard of it. Your people abandoned it and us long ago. It's been many years as a secret. It was a place where shapers did research. Forbidden research we do not understand. They made something called a Geneforge. It was a pool of charged essence that could make one of your kind incredibly powerful. I don't understand it. What I do understand is what was done to us, to the Serviles. Alright, where's Sucia Island? Smoking ruins that remain of it are off the coast far to the northwest. Alright. What were you on Sucia Island? I was a free Servile. First young, then old, then a leader. All will come clear as I tell my story. What was done to the Serviles? Sucia Island was abandoned and barred by the Shapers. The penalty for a visit was death. However, when the Shapers left, they left many Serviles, their workers, behind. Your kind just left us there, to starve, I suppose. But we lived. We were hungry and hunted, but we survived. With no Shapers to tell us what to do, we developed our own thoughts and skills, and our own ideas. We lived on our own for many years. If you have wondered how we Serviles got so smart, now you know. When you left, we were simple, asleep. Once you were gone, we woke up. Awakened, we lived like that for years, eventually becoming almost happy. But then a Shaper found our island. I'd say someone else found your island before the Shaper, but sure. Alright, call yourselves awakened? Yes, that is when we developed our own way of thought and selected that name. Was your band the only Serviles on Sucia Island? No, there were others. The Inutile in the hills, the Takers, consumed with rage, the Obeyers who foolishly thought the Shapers would take them in again. Some escaped the island when the Shapers brought their fire. The rest were lost. The Inutile in the hills. Huh. Maybe she means like the bandits outside their town? Anyway, Shaper found Sucia. In time, first outsiders from over the sea called the Sholai came to Sucia Island and looted the treasures there. Artifacts and knowledge both. Then they kidnapped a Shaper to teach them how to use the power of the Geneforge. The Shaper refused. There was fighting. I don't know the details, but the Shaper escaped the island. He told the Shaper Council what had happened. Shapers came to Sucia Island in force and our peace ended. The Shapers were going to destroy us. We were too smart and independent. However, two of the Shapers who came to Sucia Island had different ideas. Their names were Zachary and Barzal. They wanted the power of Sucia Island for themselves. They took the secrets of many of us free Serviles and brought us here to these mountains. What happened to the Sholai? I don't know. I never met them. They didn't come to us for help. What happened to the Serviles who weren't awakened? Death, mostly. A few of them found boats and fled the island. Some of them followed us to these mountains. These were Takers, our Takers. They live in the high peaks to the west, experimenting and hoarding power. The rest, I don't know. What'd you do when you got to these mountains? We built all this. All that you see around you. The towns, the roads, the forest. We made it all. Zachary stayed in Drypeak as a friend. He guarded us at the entrance to the mountains, concealing our great work. With my guidance, the Awakened who escaped built Medab. The Awakened survived. Barzal went west and built the City of Rising, where he could do his research. Finally, some embittered Serviles went into the wastes of the west to join surviving Takers and form Zas-Us. Then the argument started. I was sent here to speak with Zachary and Barzal. And you've already met Shaper Zachary. I have not talked with him in some time. Shaper Barzal is in Rising. I have not spoken personally to him in some years. Rising fights us now. What's the arguments? Through all our labors, we knew that we were in great danger. If the Shapers ever found us, we would be attacked and destroyed. In time, each settlement came up with their own way to deal with the threat. We of the Awakened want to make defenses for these valleys. We must make ourselves safe from the Shapers. Then we will contact them and deal with them as equals. It's actually a pretty wise position to take. If you want to deal with them as equals, you have to have equal power when they arrive. Barzal and the Shapers of Rising are much more militant. They want to make an army and form our own nation out here in the wilderness, taking more land if they can. They will fight the Shapers. It will destroy them. And the Serviles of Zas-Us are mad. They want to destroy the Shapers entirely, even though it will result in their own deaths. We've all grown afraid and paranoid, and the settlements to the west have responded by turning on us. It is sad and futile, but there we are. So what does this have to do with me? I want to tell you of our beliefs of the awakened. I want to try to convince you to help us. You are young. Your vision might not have been clouded by Shaper propaganda and Shaper power. I mean, that's actually, when you're young, it is clouded. That is our story. Now that you know it, I can ask for your help. I want you to help us. I want justice. Please, help us to survive and live in peace. Uh, I mean, we're gonna choose this one because we're kind of going on the anti-Shaper path, but, the Shapers haven't, I mean, they did treat the predecessors unjustly by leaving them to die on the island, but they don't even know about these people. They would treat them unjustly, most likely. Alright, I'm very glad to hear it. I know that your people are not free of wisdom or mercy. Man, that's a weird way of saying it. I know that your people are not free of wisdom and mercy. I know that your people have wisdom and mercy. I will tell you more. Much is happening here, and there are things you need to know. More about the Awakened. Our beliefs are simple, Shaper. Believe that Serviles are intelligent, independent creatures. We were left to be free, and we want to keep it that. We should be able to deal with the Shapers as equals. We wish for exchange. Nothing should be stolen from us. We give you something, we should get something in return. Reasonable. This is what we see as justice. We would like you to join us and speak for us. There is still a part of you that feels that creations are treated cruelly, and we should be allowed to exist on our own. I ask you for aid. I'm not gonna... I would like to aid the Awakened, sure. Very glad to hear it. However, it is not that simple. Before we give you our trust and a share of our limited resources, we need you to prove that you are sincere in your will to join us. There are two things you can do to help us. Do these things and we will accept you. If I meant you harm... Sure, we'll go ahead and ask about the task. What's the first task? The Barzites and Rising sent agents and rogues to harass us. They want to build an army to provoke and fight the Shapers. They know we would keep them from this madness. They think we are weak. I believe Rising has an agent in East Medab. Find the agent and force it by whatever means to leave us be. Why do you have to stop Rising from making an army? Because if the Shaper Council knew of these plans, they would scorch these mountains. It would be a wave of destruction that makes what they did to Sucia Island look mild. We can only gain peace in the end by appealing to the mercy and wisdom of the Shapers. Perhaps Pinner is slightly naive, yeah. Who is this agent? We don't know. We intercepted a small Fiora who was carrying a message to the Barzites. It came from East Medab. That is our only clue. They're using Fiora as a messenger. What do I do when I find the spy? Get it to leave and never come back. Violence might be the only way, but we Awaken prefer to look for a peaceful solution first. Alright, I have no more questions about this mission. What's the second task you plan me to perform? The madness of the Takers in Zasus has caused them to turn against us. We are Serviles and share all their problems, but they don't care. They hate the Shapers, and they hate with equal passion all who would not slay them. Alas, they have some Drakes on their side. These are powerful allies. One of those Drakes lived to the southeast. It's in an abandoned crystal mine on the other side of the swamp. I need you to find it and get it to leave, or die. Either is fine. Wait, she wants that Drake to die? Tell me about the mines. They have not been heavily worked. The magic in them slowly weakens all invaders. Even the hardiest of the Servile miners can't tolerate it for long. Alas, the Drake is unbothered. Tell me about the Drake. Its name is Trine. It is young, hates the Shapers, and is powerful for one of its kind. You don't mind if the Drake dies? You will not be the first I sent to negotiate with Trine. The last envoys I sent, the creature slew and ate. The Awakened wanted peace, but our patience can be exhausted. Wait, is she talking about the Drake on the other side of the tunnel? Yeah, okay, so we can try this one out. Leaving something, you should not insist on testing me. See what you're saying, there's some wisdom in it. You're dealing with us and not just leaving does show some sincerity. You may do less than I planned to prove yourself to us. We still require some token of sincerity. Alright, another question. Something we need to discuss. I'm here to help you. Alright, do you know where Barzal is? Barzal is leader of Rising. Uses stolen shaper knowledge to make himself strong and mad in equal measures. You can go meet him if you want. He may have much of interest to tell you. That is, of course, if he doesn't stab you first. Oh no. I lost my trainer. Her name is Shanti. Do you know where she is? I do not know of her. I am sorry. However, the scouts who came to aid you said that they saw in the distance a fight between your attackers and another human. They knocked the human out and dragged it off. It was all seen from a distance, though. Whether it was your trainer or not, I do not know. Alright, can you give me any sort of training or assistance? So someone else waylaid Shanti. Me? No. All of our training and magical work takes place in the caves 2 days' walk to the northeast. If you go to our research warrens, you can be trained. Of course, in standard Wigan fashion, you will have to pay for the help we give you. Alright, so they have research. They have their own research warrens. Interesting. 2 days walk. I guess it means like 2 areas. Alright, tell me about the other settlements in these mountains. There's Drypeak. That's the mass that hides from the Shapers what has been happening in these mountains. Then there is Rising to the southwest. They are warriors determined to fight the Shapers. And by fight, I mean antagonize. Then there is Zeus to the west. It is ruled by the surviving Takers, a sect of Sucia Island dedicated to vengeance and the destruction of Shapers. They claim they have a way to beat the Shapers in battle, and maybe they do. They also hate your kind. You will be at great risk if you go there. And, as if times were not hard enough, our people have started to get ill. Serviles are falling ill? Yes, a new disease. It makes us weak and tired and harms our skin. That is as bad as it has gotten so far, but I think it will get worse. You should talk to Carnelian about it. She is a shaper too. She has been working to cure us. Alright. Okay. Battle earned the awakened. Alright. We already read the book. Was there anything on the ground in here? Nope. Alright. That was a lot of story. And now we have a pile of quests and to-dos. Medab has several small docks extending into the lake. They use the river running through this valley to move supplies through here to other settlements. The Serviles even developed their own humble system of trade. For some reason, nobody has been working here for a few months. Perhaps boat travel became dangerous or no longer necessary. Anything in here for me? Nope. Just a guard. Guard is guarded. Office no longer used. But they would be mad if I took their stuff. Alright, where can we find out about the boats and why or why not we don't use them? Doesn't make a lot of sense. It's a hidden hall behind her place. Alright. Let's talk to Carnelian about this disease. Alright. She come to be here. Shaping. It's about Sucia. There's a question. What work do you do here? Alright. Do what I can to help Medab, though my skills are modest. I heal the Serviles when they fall ill. I make the occasional creation to help defend the town. I maintain the turrets at the gates and so on. However, I newly have a much graver purpose. Recently, the Serviles have fallen ill from an unrecorded disease. I fear that it is a side effect of the many Shaper experiments that have taken place recently. So far, its effects are mild. For a time, Serviles who catch it are weak. Their skin dries and peels easily and peels off. However, new cases are growing more severe. I am struggling to find a way to cure it. Is there anything I can do to help them? The curing spores I have been using to soothe them do not affect the illness. They are hard to make as well. However, I have an idea for a new sort of salve, but I need a rare base component. If you could find and bring me some strong healing spores, it would be a big help. Any idea where I should look? No particular place. Many alchemists in these mountains generate healing spores. Just stay alert. Remember, I need the more powerful variety. Alright, I found a pouch of strong spores. Will these help? She inspects the pouch. Sorry, but these are not strong enough. I need a stronger formulation. Look in the more dangerous and accomplished lands to the west. Alright. What did she... Okay, let's do the training. Alright, what can you teach me? Just enough to learn Create Artilla if we want. 2,800 to improve Dominate. Just learn Essence Lances for a little bit more money. Alright. So that's the rest of Medab. Supply depot. We have a whole heap of our eastern Medab. Find lost orcs, help Medab troops, Medab West Bridge. So the north, 2 days to the north. Is this the research warrant? Guess we'll find out. So this is probably rising here. And that might be Zasus. Not sure. Anyway, let's go look for a spy. Check out some barrels. Again, using our control click. With a letter to Rising. We weren't able to show that to anybody. Ooh, but we could show it to... No, it's letter 2 Rising from someone here. We're not gonna worry about the fruit. And pick the lock, sure. Ooh. We need to go close the door. We are a thief. And we don't want to get caught. Alright. Some spray crystals, some coins. Mugs, bowls, forks. And cauldron. Is there anything useful back here that we missed? Bunch of building materials and trash. Nothing there. Looks like they're working on improving the structures around here. Okay. Ooh, a static band. We're not going to use that, most likely, because we're not going big on creations and whatnot. Robe, tunic, sandals, not really useful. Hatchet. Alright. Agree. Alright, leave our Servile be. This young Servile doesn't want to talk to you, but the awakened are determined to be polite. When you approach, she freezes. She says in a quiet voice, "Good day, my name is Gree." Gree has a variety of knives and other tools hanging from her belt, including pods and living tools. Using living tool takes care and training. Before you came to these mountains, you didn't think Serviles could operate them. Now, what do you do for Medab? I'm a rescuer. I look for and rescue Serviles who could make use of it. Wait. I look for and rescue Serviles who could make use of it. What is it? Where do you do this rescuing? Any town or settlement I can reach. Lately, I have only been able to aid Serviles fleeing Drypeak. The Serviles there are constantly terrified, if not killed outright, by rogues. Yet the humans there care nothing for their terror. They are cruel. Rescue Serviles who from? From Shapers mainly. Your kind. I bring them from the towns and settlements where they are enslaved. I look for the Serviles who are smart and unhappy. Some feel angry for what has been done to them. You don't rescue all Serviles? Serviles whose minds or wills are gone, I have to leave behind. They are dead already. I mourn them and take the risk to save the ones I can. Alright, what do you do with the rescued ones? I do what I can to evade guards and patrols, and I bring them here. When we teach them the way of the awakened and give them some measure of self-respect, we try to restore what your kind has stolen from them. I approve. Gray looks unconvinced. You say that, but none of you truly understand what we go through. Still, I suppose I approve of your words. Alright, another question. It's an impressive array of tools you have. It is necessary. If one of your kind found me while I was trying to rescue a Servile, I would be killed instantly. Where do you get pods and living tools? We breed them. Shapers teach common humans how to do this, and we borrow their knowledge. This is true. How did you learn how to use them? We had sentries on Sucia Island to play with your toys. We learned fast. We had to survive. Yeah. Griot continues to speak with you occasionally. Alright, Len Penner thinks there's a spy around here. Do you have any suspicions? I suppose I should help you with that, if you are truly acting to help the Awaken, she thinks. But there's nobody I suspect. Alright. So, no suspicions. Just pick up everything with value so we can sell it to someone later. Let's read the book. Awaken Wishes. I think we already... Is that the only book they have in town? Rolling Pin in a Bowl. We have one book. You get a good look at Medab's crops. Medab's crops. Despite the cool, windy climate of the peaks, the fruits and vegetables around you are large and healthy. Too much so. These crops have been modified by the Shapers here to grow very quickly. They should have known better. Crops that grow too quickly destroy the soil and cause great harm in the long run. The Shapers know this. The problems haven't started yet, but the soil will be exhausted eventually. This is a great example of why the Shaper Council works so hard to keep all the shaping activity under its control. Creating life is one of the most volatile and dangerous things people can do. Unintended consequences should always be expected. Interesting. It's like judging the crops. I'll just casually pick up this metal pot laying on the ground. Close the door because we're gonna steal everybody's stuff. Anything of value, that is. Someone's gonna come home and be like, where's my pot? Alright, storage barns, stay out. Alright. You open the door. Repairs. Curing spores, okay. Interesting. Do we have some of those already? Wow, there's a lot of bags of meal, which is good because we need the money for training. It's like, look, you're gonna charge us exorbitant prices for training? We're going to steal all your stuff. So, like, didn't we have some flour stored back here somewhere? Somebody ate it. A fishing pole. One experience for breaking in. Bolts of cloth and bags of meal. Anything else on the ground? Nope. Maybe we could sell that to someone in this area. Bailu. Curious. There's a Servile cowering here at the side of the river. Your approach terrifies him. He stares at the ground and whimpers. Me Bailu. Me won't stay here. No go back. No hurt me, please. Why are you standing out here? Rest. Work in fields hurt brain. Confused. Me rest. Wait here. Me won't stay here. No go back. Where don't you want to go back to? Me from... He concentrates, trying to remember the name. Drypeak. From there. Bring me. Me scared there always. Me like here. No go back. What do you like about Drypeak? Dry, cold, little food, always hungry. Then the rogues. Too much, always scared. One day, broke, ran. Then what happened? Ran and ran and ran and ran. So lost, wildlands, sat down to die. Then Grief found my track, found me, saved me. Always Grief friend. Alright. Looking for a spy. You haven't told anyone anything about how things are in Medab, have you? Me spy? What spy? Bailu thinks for a moment, trying to remember what the word means. Oh, no. Me quiet and help. Greek, tell me quiet, I quiet. I believe you, that's all I need to know. Yes, Shaper, me say here. Thank you, me be quiet. Okay. So we have Bailu, who's either a superb actor or don't step on the lettuce. Right. This common woman is working hard, caring for Medab's crops. However, she doesn't do much herself. Most of her time is spent teaching the Servile farmers. Serviles are a motley group of refugees, and they still have a lot to learn. She wipes her brow and looks at you. Hello, Shaper. I am Zadie. I hoped we could show off our crops to you before you left. How goes the farming today? Well, I had hoped you would stop by and see how well our crops are doing. Unlike Drypeak, we are able to make all the food we need. Shapers Zachary and Barzal worked together to design plants that would flourish in this soil. How did you come to be here? I grew up in Drypeak, miserable town. I was planning to leave for healthier lands when the new Shapers came. When I realized that they were capable of bringing life to these peaks, I stayed to help them. Will these plants continue to grow in the long run? I don't know about those things. I trust in the Shapers to look after us and make plants we can use. How ironic. The Serviles may lose their mindless faith in you, but common humans continue to believe that the Shapers can always fix everything. Okay. Is it difficult to teach the Serviles to farm? Zadie sighs. Yes, many of the Serviles that come here were used for menial labor. Their minds, which could be sharp, were left to decay. I can teach them, but first I have to overcome many years of fear and servility. Do you need help with anything? Oh no, I wouldn't waste a Shaper's time. Lord Pinner Medab proper speaks for us. Lord Pinner thinks there's a spy around here. Any thoughts on that? No, Shaper, I only look after my farmers. I don't think any of them are smart enough to be a spy. Okay. Here, the question... Okay. Are you the spy is the question. It's an orc. There's an orc spy. Ah, Lorik. Hiding behind closed doors, I see. This Servile is sitting cross-legged, staring silently into the flame. She lets out a low, droning chant and moves her hands slowly in intricate patterns. You immediately recognize what she is doing. These exercises are standard practice for learning magic. You have spent countless hours doing them. They teach you to clear and focus the mind upon command, no matter how difficult the situation. Serviles are never taught magic. It is very strange to see a Servile doing this. Eventually, she notices that she is not alone and stops her exercises. She rises and turns to you. Hello, Shaper. I am Lorik. Do you know where I can go to learn magic? The Mages Complex is where we do most of our studying. It's 2 days' walk to the northeast. That is where I learn. I'm sure that they would be glad to exchange knowledge with you. There was also a small retreat and school to the south, but it was abandoned when the rogues came. Can you teach me magic? I am so flattered you would ask, but no, I am still a student. I can barely light a candle. The Mages Complex is where the Awakened learn the skills the Awakened will learn. We're learning more all the time. How are you learning more? Shapers have been researching in these mountains for centuries, and your kind isn't good at cleaning up your messes. The records you left behind, useless to you, contain much knowledge for us. What skills won't Awaken learn? Awaken learn magic, but we do not try to shape. Aha, why is that? The Barzites and the Takers to the west are determined to learn shaping. We've seen the effect it's had on them, on their minds. The creation of life is not a responsibility we want. Alright. Interesting. Interesting. A pillow, a bucket, and a spoon. So you're not the spy, you're just chanting, looking, trying to learn magic. You could sort of force that Bailu to come with us. They might be the spy. Let's just poke our heads this way just to see Belix Crossing. Interesting. Alright, we'll come back over here for now. Alright, we'll continue our search for the spy and other things in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.